Okay, buenos días, Pastor Junior. Yeah, I'm putting gas again. Amen. So, I was thinking of what word to share, right? Pero there's a statement que dice, spiritual wisdom gained through meditating on God surpasses intellectual knowledge alone, right? Ahí te va otra vez. It says spiritual wisdom gained through meditating on God surpasses intellectual knowledge alone. Surpasses intellectual knowledge alone, right? And that's Joshua 1:8, right? Joshua, he reigned after Moses, right? He's leading the children into Israel, but Joshua 1:8 says, "You shall meditate on thy word day and night, so you may obey all that is written. Only then will you'll gain great success." So meditate, right? So you shall meditate on the word. And what's the title of our message right now? Well, it's spiritual wisdom gained through meditating on God surpasses intellectual knowledge alone, right? And we're going to cross-reference that with Acts chapter 4:13, right? Where you have Peter and John, right? Acts chapter 4:13 says, Peter and John were unschooled, ordinary men, but marveled at their wisdom because they had been with Jesus. Amen. Right? Otra vez. It says Acts chapter 4:13, right? It says Peter and John were unschooled, ordinary men, but marveled at their wisdom because they had been with Jesus. Right? Because they had been with Jesus. Right? And then so what did we learn there? If we haven't learned something already. Well, the unschooled, right? The unschooled individual who meditates on the Lord gains insight into eternal truths that formal schooling cannot provide, right? Otra vez. It says the unschooled individual who meditates on the Lord gains insight into eternal truths that formal schooling cannot provide. That formal schooling cannot provide. That's what we learn here. Acts chapter 4:13. It says Acts chapter 4:13 says Peter and John were unschooled, ordinary men, but marveled at their wisdom because they had been with Jesus. Amen. Orale, just want to encourage you guys with that. Orale, God bless you guys. Just a word of encouragement.